Hello, everyone. I am back again for another update here. August 6th, early afternoon. Just had my lunch. I spent the night last night in this town that I forgot the name in Louisiana, but it's supposedly the frog capital. I just wonder why they call it the frog capital. I'm now on I-10 westbound, heading toward Houston. We'll be passing through Houston this afternoon and then head on towards San Antonio as I continue my journey to Southern California from Biloxi, Mississippi. With 787 more miles in Texas to go. Get an idea of how big this state is. So I'm going to give another global weather update here. Tropics are quiet at the moment. There are no systems of note anywhere. We do have a system east of the Philippines, but it's another one of those large areas of lower pressure that are not consolidating into a stronger center right now. It's just a very large area of showers and thunderstorms out there in the Pacific. And that's the most noteworthy system in the tropics right now. We do have lots of heavy rain over Panama, over Nicaragua, and Costa Rica. Again, that's not due to a hurricane or tropical storm. It's just a general area of tropical moisture, which is typical for that area, but they're really getting rained on at the moment. And this is heading out westward into the Pacific. We have that system coming into the Bay of Bengal, coming off India now. And it'll be interesting to see if it dumps some torrential rains on Oman and Yemen later in the week. It is heading in that direction. However, the interesting thing is, some of this moisture from this system is being sucked up and beginning to form another atmospheric river aiming at China. In the next week or two, China is going to get slammed again, it looks like, with more torrential rains because the moisture from this system, the tropical high is very weak, so weak that this moisture is going to get sucked up north around the Himalayas and be formed into another atmospheric river is forming from the Arabian Sea all the way past the Himalayas into China and beyond. It's into Korea. There are about 2 or 3 low pressure systems strung out along this boundary, and they're pulling moisture up along this whole strip of across China. It's sucking that moisture all the way up like a pipeline along this boundary from that system that I've been talking about that's been dumping torrential rains on India, on Vietnam, Cambodia. Well, now this moisture is getting tapped into and is aiming at China. It's going to be come around this subtropical high, and it's going to be like a slingshot sent over to China. Some of it, I'm not saying all of it, but a chunk of it is going to head back east. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. But yeah, China does not look good for central China. The whole probably 2-3 mile long atmospheric river, like a conveyor belt of moisture, is forming again there. We have South Korea as well that's getting slammed. It's likely, it looks like it's aiming also at South Korea. Japan may also get some of it as well. Eventually, right now it's staying north of Japan, it seems, at the moment. It's in the Sea of Japan, but there's a low that's heading up, at least for now. It seems Japan is going to get spared the worst of it initially. We still have that low pressure over the Adriatic Sea. It seems to be weakening now. It's kind of cut off, spinning around there, bringing some cooler weather and showers to Italy in that region. And then we have that low between Iceland and Greenland, huge trough over the North Atlantic, which is pumping up a huge ridge over the British Isles downstream, bringing some heat to that nation from Africa. And this may lock in for a few more days because that low is not coming east over Iceland and Greenland. It's kind of spinning around. It's not really making any progress east because of that ridge. So I'm trying to get over a lane here. Yeah, so Britain is getting a flow of air up from Sahara coming up toward the Azores, and then it's getting sucked into that ridge and being brought north into that area, African air. Southern hemisphere, Australia is still got that low spinning around east of Tasmania, starting to affect New Zealand with heavy rain and snow in higher elevations of the South Island. Should spread into the North Island probably by tomorrow. We have another low over the outback of Australia, bringing some cool, rainy weather to New South Wales, it looks like. It's heading east in that direction, so they're going to get some considerable rains out of that system. We have another low even behind this one, heading toward Perth, Australia, out in the Indian Ocean. It's probably within the next couple days, they should get some rainfall and cool temperatures in Western Australia, and this low will eventually affect the rest of the continent as days go by. And then southern Argentina continues to get buffeted with cold weather and cold, stormy weather. A series of fronts moving through there, probably delivering more snow to the region, especially in the mountains. Then in the Bering Sea, we have another strong low. We have another low. Still similar pattern in the Gulf of Alaska, spinning there. A trough over the eastern Pacific, which is pumping up a ridge over the western U.S., bringing warm conditions continuing for the Pacific Northwest. And then we have a trough again over the eastern U.S., bringing very cool conditions to much of that region. And that low is still from this tropical system earlier. That low is still spinning around over Quebec, and lots of moisture, lots of rainfall in that region right now. As that low is not really moving much at the moment, it's spinning there. Continuing to drive the cool air down into the eastern U.S. Current temperature here in Houston, my thermometer is reading 98 degrees. So in spite of cooler temperatures over much of the east, it has not affected this area. But it is August, you wouldn't expect the cool air to get down this far south. If anything, it's suppressing the heat and making it a bit more intense, probably. Look at that truck. It just almost ran that red car off the road. So I'm going to be taking I-10 right on through Houston here. Junction with I-610, which loops around Houston. So again, for those that are predicting a very active August tropical season-wise, I don't see where they're basing their predictions. The tropics right now are as quiet as can be for August. There is just nothing going on. Other than normal tropical waves that really probably aren't going to develop into anything. Gulf of Mexico, there's not even a smidgen of anything going on tropical-wise right now. It's totally clear. So what else I'm going to talk about is I'm trying a new sound therapy. According to the theory on it, this sound comes out at a certain frequency and it is supposed to get into your subconscious and clear blocks that may be there. Sometimes these blocks can be very deeply embedded. This is supposed to dislodge them and then replace it with something more positive. Because some of this stuff goes back to infancy that was lodged up there. We may not even be fully aware of it. We end up that subconscious sabotages our efforts to make forward progress in our lives. So this therapy is based on that principle, and I believe it could potentially work. I've only listened to it for one day so far, so they claim it could bring results even after one day, but it depends on how deeply embedded the programming is. That's negative. If it's very deeply embedded, it could take several weeks to begin to dislodge it, where it will no longer affect you. So I'm doing that. I will keep everybody posted on if it works with me or not. It does have a money back guarantee to it, so but I'm going to give it time. I don't expect immediate results from it. Though they do claim that some people it will get like immediate results after listening to it even a few minutes, that it will get at least some results. So this is downtown Houston. Traffic is moving very well.